In today's episode, I have a heartfelt chat with Tania Ahmed, a mixed media artist and gel printing expert, as she shares her artistic journey, the allure of gel printing, and her unique style that blends bold color, patterns, and typography. She discusses the tools and materials she uses and the balance between planning and intuition in her art making. Tania emphasizes the importance of the gel print community and how sharing her work online has transformed her career. She also offers valuable insights for beginners and introduces her current course that focuses on personal expression in art. Be sure to check out that new course, Story Print. It's open for enrollment for a few more days as this episode airs. Links in the show notes. Now, let's say hi to Tania. Originally from Pakistan, Tania is a mixed media artist and a serial gel printer based in the UK. Her influences include her heritage, bright, bold patterns, graphic design, and the rich history of her surroundings. She loves to demystify what she has learned and is a creative guide who helps her students discover how to express their own stories through their art practice and gel prints. Tania is a Jelly Arts brand ambassador and has been on their team for over 6 years. She's been gel printing for over 12 years. She teaches online and in person for various summits, art and craft stores, charities, and international trade shows. Tania, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Cindy. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's so nice to have you. Let's just jump right in. How did you get started gel printing?
Well, my dear friend, Birgit Koopson, she was the one who introduced it to me. So I saw her doing a lot of gel printing online. And about 12, 13 years ago when Jelly Arts was founded, it was the biggest craze. Like everyone was like in awe of this thing that, you could slap some paint on it and you could make these magical, beautiful prints. And the possibilities were endless. So I bought a gel plate. So my first gel plate was a 6x6 inch by 6 inch. And I never used it. I didn't use it for at least, I think, first time I used it was about a year or two afterwards. And then after that, it was just like instant love. And I was just obsessed, just absolutely obsessed.
That's the way I started about 12 or 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And saw somebody online do it and thought, oh, that is so cool. And there were no commercially available jelly plates where I was located at the time. So I actually made my own plate.
Okay.
It was an experience
Yes.
all of its own. But I had like an 11 by 14 was my homemade plate.
Okay.
So
That's quite large.
it was. So when I bought one and I bought an 8 by 10, I thought that is so small. The time that was the biggest one available when I bought
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so how would you describe your own gel print style?
I do a lot of really bright, bold colors, clashing patterns. Like looks very maximalist, but I do love my white space as well. So I'm not tempted to cover every single inch of my print. So I do allow some white space to show through. I just feel that it lets the design sing a little bit more. But that's completely personal preference. I always tell my students, you do you. If covering the whole page gives you joy, then you do more of that. But I'm definitely more of a restrained maximalist.
I love it. So
But
what are
yes,
your go-to materials and tools?
my go-to material and tools are the usual household object. If it doesn't move, then I will either try printing on it or printing with it. But most of the time, because I'm very inspired by patterns that I'm surrounded with, the patterns that I grew up with, I tend to make my own texture plates and stencils as well. So I'll make them with recycled objects or whatever it is that I have lying around. I'll make a lot of foam stamps as well. And I cut my own stencils as well. So anything that inspires me by my surroundings or something I grew up with, or I'm really inspired a lot by graphic design as well.
Hmm.
So you'll see a lot of really bold patterns in my work. So sometimes it's hard to, find that kind of pattern in the wild. So I tend to make my own.
What do you make your stencils out of?
I use anything from recycled plastic, but I work with another company called Graphics Arts. They do something called stencil film, which is really, really very easy to cut and it's very durable as well. So it's either recycled plastic sheets from packaging or so if I wanted to last and be durable, then it will be the graphics stencil film.
Do you have a favorite brand of paint?
Uh, Brands of paints, yes, but I always tend to work with different kinds of qualities of paint. So my go-tos are Winsor and Newton, Royal Talents Amsterdam, Golden, Liquitex. Those are the ones that I will use a lot, but I also use a lot of Deco Art and Americana
Okay.
and like craft quality as well, just to show people that I'm definitely all about use what you already have and then decide the techniques. And once you're happy, then choose to invest in something a bit more pricier. And I'm always like, if you want to invest in something a bit more expensive, then just think of maybe 2, 3 colors that you really like and just go with that. But I would definitely recommend that with black and white definitely invest in something that's a bit more mid-range or a higher range. Because if you're talking about techniques like image transfers or magazine resist transfers, then it's better to go with slightly higher quality than with the craft. But I do know that the Americana black does work well for resist transfers as well. Yeah.
Do you typically plan your prints or do you work more intuitively?
A bit of both. So it will depend because I do, as you mentioned, I'm a brand ambassador for Jelly Arts and I work with several other individuals as well on summits as well. So with things like that, you need to agree beforehand on the content you want to deliver. So because, sometimes it might be somebody else is working with something else. So for things like that, it's pre-planned. And I have a look at, I have like an Excel spreadsheet of ideas and I tend to look at that and then negotiate or agree on a topic. And then that's very highly structured. But with my own sessions for whenever I am teaching my own online classes or doing gel printing for myself, which is my absolute joy and meditation, then it's not planned at all. It's like I will do whatever feels good to me in that moment. And as you know, it's like once you start getting into that really good gel printing session, you just get into that flow state and then you just get one print after another after another. That's not planned at all. So both of them have their own kind of flavors, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. What is one technique, though, that you love to use?
So I love doing something that I like to call color blocking. So where I will not cover the whole gel plate with paint, but I will take partial prints so I will put the paint down in a different color, put whatever texture it feels good to me in that moment, and then take a partial print on my page. And then I'll repeat that process with another color or another color. And that to me kind of gives like a sharper, bolder color
Mhm.
rather than when you're doing like a lot of layering on top.
What's been one of your biggest aha moments with gel printing or a favorite happy accident?
I like to say my favorite tips that I discovered through all these years of doing thousands and thousands of prints. I would say definitely know your color wheel. So that will help you avoid muddy prints. I mean, brown can be beautiful. Brown can definitely be beautiful. It depends on the kind of grungy prints that you want. But if you want bright, bold colors, then definitely think about the color wheel that you're not over mixing colors. Another aha moment was learning your paints.
Hmm.
So really think about how opaque or translucent your paints are, because that will affect how they layer on top of each other. And also learning that using less paint can actually be good.
Less is definitely more when it comes.
Less is less is definitely more, because if you're finding that you're not getting that crisp texture when you're putting some texture on top and it's not looking crisp, then it might mean that you definitely got a bit too much paint on your gel plate. So it's all about experimenting and just seeing how things work for you, because as you know, it's like I might have the same paints, you might have the same paints, but they will behave differently because depending on how dry or humid your environment is. So definitely just play around. And my biggest takeaway is have fun. Don't forget to have fun and be very kind to you.
Yes. Are there any techniques or tools that you found tricky to master?
I think the trickiest one for me was definitely image resists or magazine resists. And once I got the hang of it, then it was like a light bulb moment. Because I think that's definitely one of the hardest ones to master. But also, I think the one, and also using less paint as well, because I tended to, in the past, I tend to use a lot of paint, but I've learned that, you need, if you hold yourself back a little bit, then you would get like nicer prints. And also drying time. Drying time also can really affect how the paint lifts off your gel plate.
You mentioned image transfers or magazine resist specifically. I cannot do one on purpose, but I can do them by accident. I'll cut a shape out of a magazine to use as a mask.
Huh?
And then when I pick it up, I would say 7 times out of 10, it's transferred. But when I think, I'm going to make a magazine transfer now, nothing happens.
A lot of people find it really tricky. What I would, I, I'm gotten really good at it now,
Mm,
but I always refer people to my friend Birgit Koopsen, because she's the one who came out with this technique and discovered it and popularized it. So she has actually several classes as well. So I would definitely recommend checking her feed out. And I do teach magazine resist transfers in my classes, but I always refer to people to the queen of
yeah.
magazine resists.
Well, it's the sexy technique that everybody wants to learn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely the some of the most viral videos that I have on social media are of magazine resist transfers.
That's interesting.
So yeah, because it just gets that wow factor, and you've got like an image of a person, and you lift that paper away, and it's like magical. You
Hmm.
get left with the outline, and once you get it right, it's really really good.
What is the role of the gel print community in your creative life?
The gel print community, they're my people. They're my people. It's like hands down. It's like once you get hooked on, only a fellow gel printer can understand that madness, that obsession with a gel plate. It's
That
like,
is a perfect way to describe it.
because, you like looking around, like, I might not gel print every day, but I'm thinking about it every day. If I'm like not preoccupied with my daughter or something else, I am thinking about gel printing. I'm thinking about color combinations. I'm thinking about what can I use for textures. I'm thinking about ideas. I'm thinking about what I can make with my gel prints. It's an obsession. This is why I call myself a serial gel printer.
When I welcome people into my Facebook group, I will tell them, welcome to your new obsession.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You see, it's just like it's only a fellow gel printer can understand,
Mhm.
and they are my people. They are my people.
How has sharing your work online shaped your gel print journey?
It's been life changing, Cindy. It's life changing. Uh, Hand on my heart, I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. It's life changing because I've been gel printing for over 12 years, but I think only seriously gel printing, like laser focused on gel printing for the past maybe 6, 7 years or something like that. I would say 2018, however many years that is. It's after I started sharing my work online and I started working with Jelly Arts, the career trajectory just completely changed. And because of my gel printing, I've been able to work with some really amazing brands and on some really amazing collaborations. And I get invited to a lot of summits because I use my social media and my gel printing videos as basically a portfolio to show people what I can do.
Mhm.
And when those videos get attention, then people can see what kind of things that I do, what my style is, and then I get invited to join summits. And as a result, I've also been able to launch my own courses as well. So it's changed my life. Gel printing really has changed my life.
That's exciting. That's exciting. So let's have a rapid fire round. Ghost print or first pull?
It's supposed to be rapid fire, isn't it? First pull,
First pull. Favorite color combination to print with?
pink and blue and purple and yellow.
Nice. Brayer, brush, or fingers?
Brayer.
Something weird you've printed with?
Weird. The weirdest thing I've printed with, probably some kind of food, like some vegetables, probably vegetables.
I see people do that. I remember when I was a kid, we would make stamps out of potatoes
Yeah.
in school. I remember
Yeah.
that, but I've never tried it with the gel plate. A studio must have coffee, tea, water, music.
Can it be multiple things?
It can be.
Okay, so my cat, good music, a cup of tea, and my water. Those are my musts.
My cat is not allowed where I'm gel printing, or I would have little feline paw prints on everything.
But then that counts as mixed media.
That does, but then it also ends up on my desk and on my floor.
No, my cat is very chill. She's very chill. She just prefers to just hang out somewhere near my feet.
We have 3, and one of mine is chill. He's totally chill about it. But the other 2, one is a kitten, and so she's into everything.
Uh,
And the middle one just likes to be in the middle of whatever mommy's doing.
with me, so my cat is allowed in the studio, but my daughter, my human child, is not.
How old is your daughter?
She's 3 years old.
I see why.
So yeah, at the moment she'd be like, she's like loves getting her fingers and everything. And once I came in and she had acrylic paint smeared all over one of the walls. Mama's studio is out of bounds at the moment.
It'll be fun when she's older and
Yeah,
be a little bit more deliberate and restrained
yeah,
with her
yeah,
artistic expression.
yeah. No, I still do a lot of art with her, but not in my studio at the moment because she's always tempted to, get to the shop things or the painty things or Mama, can I have some glue? Can I have the scissors?
I enrolled in your Gel Print Academy when it came out. It was
Yes.
so good to revisit the basics, and I got a lot of ideas too because your print style is different than mine. So, can you tell us about that course? And I understand you have a new course coming out, Story Printer Gel Prints with Soul, which sounds so intriguing. Can you tell us
Yeah.
about it too?
Okay, so for the longest time, I've been working with other people on summits and doing classes with them. And I wanted to do my own course. And my audience are beginners to intermediate gel printers, basically people who might feel overwhelmed with their choices, don't know where to start, or are not happy with their gel prints. And those are that's my jam. I love teaching. I love teaching to the beginners and helping people be in a happier place with their gel prints. So that's where Gel Print Academy was, the idea for it was born. And I taught it live. So it was all on Zoom. And my students were able to watch the recordings afterwards. And I uh, thoroughly enjoyed it. And my students had a lot of aha moments. But I found that the prints that I shared that were very deeply personal with stories to share that I was maybe inspired by a pattern of something from my background. So I was born in Pakistan, but then with a little bit of a British twist to it. Or I talked about colors, like the color pink is very, very important to me. I talked about why I use the color pink. And when I started sharing stories and reasons why I made certain pattern choices or color choices or I printed in a certain way, those were the lessons that resonated the most with my students. There were classes where we were all like literally like sharing stories and crying, like crying, just talking about, things that were important to us and how the things that we were raised with we still carry them with us,
Hmm.
and subconsciously, we still make the choices in our art practice based on those influences. So that's where the idea for Story Printer came from. So, Story Printer at its heart is Gel Print Academy, but with a bit more soul to it. So it's going to be all about how we can infuse more of ourselves into our gel printing practice. So it's not just about making pretty prints, but it's also about making prints that are meaningful to us, that are shaped by us, and learning how we can take our gel print practice to the next level.
That sounds beautiful. That
So
sounds,
yeah,
well, I can't
I'm
wait till that class comes out.
I am incredibly excited. And actually because you are part of the first class, you will have access to Story Printer as well.
That's
Yeah.
exciting. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So you will have access to that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry?
No, no, that's very generous of you to include that for people.
Because it was the, I, I call my students my lovelies, and they were all so supportive. And we had, uh, about a couple of people who would join live every single time. They would make time to come and they'd be like cheering each other on. They'd be like chatting in the comments section and just sharing their stories. And it was incredibly overwhelming for me in a very, very good way. So I promised them that because they had signed up, they believed in me enough to sign up with my first class, then they would have access to whatever the second iteration of that course is going to be. So Story Printer is going to be delivered live again, and perhaps next year it will be pre-recorded sessions, but with an element of live stream sessions where we can do Q&As as well.
Hmm.
And it'll be, as you know, I always over deliver.
Yes.
There'd be like a ton of bonuses. There's like always worksheets with every single lesson. It will run over 8 weeks. And there are bonus texture ideas, things that you can make with your gel prints, color combinations, lots and lots of ideas. Like you can't see my whiteboard off to the side, but it's just like, I just look at it every day and go, so excited.
Well, that answers my next question, which is what are you currently exploring or are excited about? So, besides your class, which I'm excited about, what are you currently exploring?
Exploring. So because this was like learning that putting my more of myself into my art practice, into my gel prints. Once I realized that, that was like a huge aha moment for me. So that's where my art practice and my gel printing practice is going more into learning about how I can incorporate more of myself into my gel printing practice and how I can develop that into techniques and lessons for Story Printer. And I also have a, a short class which is called Heartbound Home. If I can see my journal here. So this is Heartbound Home, and this is a short class which is only $27. Basically, it's like a shorter version of Story Printer. So you'll be learning how to make this Turkish map fold journal in the shape of a house, and it takes you from the very basics and works up to a little bit more advanced techniques. So if you're a gel print beginner and you love making journals, then this is the class for you.
That sounds fun too. So I'll be sure to put links to the classes in the show notes, but where can listeners find your work online?
So you would see a lot of my work on my social media, but I share the really, really juicy tips and techniques and the latest news in my newsletter. So if you follow along on my social media, there's lots of places where you can sign up to my newsletter and just join me and just keep up to date with all the exciting things that I am up to this year. And I've got lots and lots of plans.
Uh, Like you're building a gel print empire.
My gel printing empire.
Your gel printing empire. That's wonderful. You say some of the best things. I love that it's yours and reflects you and who you are and what you want, not necessarily what I would think of as an empire or what I would want. That's beautiful, Tanya.
Thank you. I mean, like I said before, if I gave you the same paints, the same textures, and the same paper, the same size gel plate, we would both come up with completely different ideas. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So I think it's all about accepting ourselves in whatever state we are and just embracing that. And that's what my art practice is all about, embracing ourselves and honoring ourselves through our art expression.
The world needs more of that personal acceptance and personal honoring because it's the only
Yeah,
thing that we can accept and honor the other.
exactly. Exactly. Because I think I deeply, deeply, deeply believe that we as caregivers and people who look after other people and give love and care to other people, we do that for other people, but we don't give ourselves the same love and care. I am all about how we can do more of that in our lives, in ourselves. And I think that if you fill your own cup more with things, do more things that give you joy, I think then you are a better person. You're a bit better able to serve people around you.
It's like on the airplane, your own oxygen mask first.
Exactly. 100%. 100%. Fill your own cup first.
Yeah, because you can't pour out of an empty cup.
You cannot do that. You not gonna do that.
So you've already talked a little bit about this, but since you teach beginners, I bet you have a lot of advice to share with someone new. So what would
Yeah.
your like top 3 beginner tips?
So top 3 beginner tips are, I think I mentioned them earlier. So think about the color wheel. Also think about learn your paints. So learn the translucency and opacity. Don't use too much paint. And this is so many things. Like once you start, the questions just roll in. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I actually have a free online class which anyone can sign up to, which is like gel printing basics. It's a mini masterclass. The basics video is only 15 minutes and it will give you everything that you need to know to get started, which includes like how to look after your gel plate, how to store it, how to use your brayer, uh, to choose in colors and textures and things like that. So it's a very short video along with a longer live demonstration video. But the short video, I'm actually really, really proud of that video because I think it very succinctly conveys everything that you need to know to get started. I mean, I love beginners. They're my people. I love them. I can answer gel printing questions day in, day out, in my sleep, all the time.
That's great because so many times when people get advanced, they forget what it was like to be a beginner and they
And
forget the questions and the uncertainty and the
mhm,
lack of confidence
mhm.
and all of that. So that's wonderful that you still love your beginners.
I do. And I actually go back and watch my own videos as well,
Mhm.
because then it kind of reminds me of things that maybe I might have overlooked myself. Like things like, I tend to overwhelm myself really easily with too many choices.
Hmm.
So one of the things I say to my beginners is like, if you're finding it difficult to start, then start with 3 colors that you really love and maybe 2 to 3 textures and a brayer, and that's it. Don't look at anything else and just practice, 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 practice. Practice makes progress. Do more, make more prints, make bad prints, make mediocre prints. Then eventually you will find what you love and what works best for you. And then you will get to a place where you're happier.
Yes, I used to be a soap maker, and soap making is very exact. This much
Yes.
of this and that much of that for this much
Yes.
time. But
Yes.
printing is just exactly the opposite
Yeah.
because everything is so personal to your environment, your paint, amount of paint, your brayer. My brayers make a difference.
So if you,
Paper,
yeah, exactly. I always say to people, if you're a perfectionist, then this is one of the best things that you can do for yourself to break yourself out of that perfectionistic pattern. Some people will be like, oh, it doesn't do what I wanted to do at Chuck. And that's how often people stop after just doing a few prints. And I always say, keep going, make more bad prints, keep making them. And then eventually you'll have that aha moment. It's like, oh my goodness, I actually like what I made.
Tricia of PM Artist Studios said she recommends you go buy a ream of paper and you go through your ream. And I would say don't make a decision about gel printing until you've been through your ream of paper.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Because you need to
And
make bad prints, the mediocre prints, like you
exactly.
said.
That's why I always say don't worry about your supplies. Use what you already have and just learn. And then once you've decided that, okay, this is something that I really love and I want to continue doing, then invest in more things. Because what tends to happen with us crafters and artists is that, well, the way I look at it is that actually making crafts and art and collecting are 2 different hobbies.
For
So we
sure.
tend to, like, I'm sitting in a whole room full of things and we're having some work done and I might have to move my studio to another room. And I just realized that if I'm really honest with myself, I only use a few supplies. I don't use everything that's in my room. So once you come to that realization, you start to understand that having too much is overwhelming you. So, or at least that's how my brain works. It's like the less I have on in front of me, the more productive I am.
That makes total sense to me because I know about the creativity of restraints and
Yeah.
limitations.
Yeah.
And how you have to be so much more creative if you only have 3 colors because you have to figure out how to mix them, how to balance them. Whereas if you have all the colors, you sit there going, I don't know which color to choose.
Like a lot of us started with card making or scrapbooking, and we didn't have things like, coordinating dyes or the sentiments with every single like expression under the sun. We didn't have all of those. We used we used alphabet stickers. We cut out our own die cuts from the scrapbooking paper. And like it's nice. It's really nice that you have these really amazing companies that coming out with so many different choices and ways for us to craft in easier ways. But I feel sometimes that we us crafters are overwhelmed. So I am definitely a big advocate of, if you're struggling with gel printing and not knowing where to start, just start small. Just start somewhere with limited supplies and just go from there. Because a lot of times, like, quite a lot of my students are people who bought a gel plate but never opened it
Mhm.
because they're like, I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to stain it. It's not going to be perfect anymore. Or it's going to be too messy. This is not for me. But I still have it.
Huh?
So it's like I feel like I am their cheerleader. I am the one who's like, no, it's time to take it out of the packaging. And if it gets stained, then that means it's a sign of a well-loved gel plate. It's still going to work really well as long as you buy from like a reputable brand like Jelly
Mm-hmm.
Arts. You're going to look after it. It's going to last you for years. My 6x6 gel plate, which I bought 12, 13 years ago, still works perfectly all right.
I still have my 8x10 that I probably bought 11 or 12 years ago, and I use it almost every day. I use my original plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So use your gel plate. So if you're thinking about, it's sitting there, you're thinking about it, it's on the back of your mind. Take it out now. Take it out immediately. You will not regret it.
No, and welcome to your new obsession.
Welcome to your new obsession. We are your guides.
Yes. Tania, thank you so much. I have enjoyed talking with you and learning more about you and your process and your classes. And it's just been very exciting to get to talk to you since I see you on social media all the time. Instagram, you are like my Instagram feed.
Oh,
I mean, it's just you're just there all the time, and I love it because even though I'm an experienced gel printer, it's good to revisit and to see what other people are doing. If I just did what I do all the time, I wouldn't grow. But I see what you're doing, and I'm like, oh, I'll try that. So
it's a beautiful thing to see that how many people are able to get so many different effects just using the same supplies. It's beautiful.
it is beautiful is the word for it. Tania, again, thank you so much, and I wish you success with your story printer class, and I cannot wait to get in there.
Thank you so much, Cindy. It's been a huge honor. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode of Beyond the Brayer. If you enjoyed it, and if you think others might too, please leave a review over at podchaser.com or Apple Podcasts. If you've got any questions about gel printing, please join the Gel Print Enthusiasts Facebook group or email podcast@beyondthebrayer.com. I'd love to hear from you. Join us again next week for another interview with a popular gel print artist. Until next time, keep that brayer rolling.